Regionals presented by Capital One. On a beautiful night in College Station, Texas, we have got a packed house at Bluebell Park for the 1-0 game. It's a Texas-sized heavyweight fight tonight between Texas A&M from the SEC and Texas State from the Sun Belt. How have we gotten to this point? Well, the Aliens invaded Bluebell Park last night, and Texas State came from behind to get a win over USC. That was in the late game. In the early game yesterday, Texas A&M trailed 5-0. They scored 7 unanswered to advance to this 1-0 game. Earlier today, USC eliminated Lamar. They will play the loser of tonight's game, and the winner of tonight is in the driver's seat when they get to 2-0 with a chance to punch a ticket to a super regional. Alongside former big leaguer Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. Thanks for being with us. What an atmosphere we've got tonight. Absolutely packed house. It's a chill bump night.
Yeah, this is what you love. This is what you play for. The Aggies really haven't had a great month. They're 6-6, but over 4 regional hosts here for Texas A&M. They are 10-0, 28-6 here at home, so Aggies are playing really well.
It was incredible last night. Chase Mora was the hero for Texas State. A 2-run home run with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning, erasing a 1-run deficit, making it 5-4. And then on the final play of the game, Todd, flashing the leather.
Yeah, Chase Mora with a bullet right at him. And the game is over. Texas State Bobcats with a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th from that kid. Take it over USC.
That was the Texas State story yesterday. You look at what he is doing tonight, playing in his 226th game in school history. He is the record holder in school history in all of those categories. Yesterday, A&M lethargic early. Gavin Grahovic got them going finally with a solo home run, and then they added to it.
5-0 down. Gavin Grahovic ambushes the first pitch of the 5th. That's a home run. Chris Akopian out of the 3 spot comes behind him. They add 2 more. 5-3 at that point. They score 7 unanswered after Lamar had taken a 5-0 lead, and they win that game 7-5.
Took the while for the Aggies offense that is so incredibly potent to get going, but they put 7 on the board and got the victory. Grahovic at the top of the order. Akopian at the 3 spot in the lineup. How about combined 30 home runs for those two? And then when you throw Caden Sorrell in there, they're another 23. That is salty up and down the order for the Aggies.
Special offense in general, 9 runs per game for this Aggie offense. Those top 3, 99 extra base hits between the 3 of them.
And on the mound tonight for Texas State from El Paso, Jesus Tovar, the junior left-hander, 6 feet and 180 pounds. Making his 13th start of the year. He is 9-3, ERA just above 5. He's about 2-to-1 strikeout to walkout ratio, and Texas State, winning as the lower seed last night, is the home team tonight.
Well, it's going to be an electric environment. Jesus Tovar is a 4th-year college kid. Can he control his harpy, especially here in the 1st inning? Fastball heavy, especially to right-handers, about 80%. His last outing in the tournament, Sun Belt tournament, went 5 1/3, 4 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. He's the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week earlier this year, so he's got some star power.
Gavin Grahovic steps in. It is time for baseball in College Station. Swing and a miss on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Underway at Bluebell Park. An absolutely perfect night with the sun setting over the Brazos Valley. The 0-1 pitch to Grahovic. Chases one, tied him up on the inside there, and he's behind in the count, 0-2. Michael Early in his 2nd season, first trip to the NCAA tournament as a head coach a year ago. You know the story well. A&M, #1 in the country to start the year. They ended up not making the postseason. Different story. Not only are they in, they are at home this year.
And like I mentioned, they've hosted 3 regionals here in College Station, 2016, 2022, and 24. They went 9-0. Won again last night. Perfect 10-0 in regional play here in College Station.
Right side, Bowles fields the ground ball, throws it over to Stewart. 1 batter and 1 out. Good start on the mound for Jesus Tovar.
Yeah, ball was hit hard by Gavin Grahovic, who had to come out of the game yesterday with some cramps, but seems to be fine. 102 off the bat to second base for the first out.
Left-handed hitting Caden Sorrell, the junior from Highland Village, Texas. 23 home runs, 74 runs batted in on the year. Takes a fastball for a strike at 91. Packed house and a crowd that is continuing to grow for this 8:15 start on a Saturday night in the 1-0 game between a pair of Texas teams. This one hit the opposite way against the shift. Backhanded deep in the hole by Vasos. The throw not in time. Sorrell beats it out for an infield single.
Oh, another beat shift. They have him to the pull side and just an absolute cannon across the diamond, but just too many steps to get to the baseball. Caden Sorrell can fly. Base hit with 1 out.
So runner at first for Chris Hakopian. Hakopian was the second baseman, had a collision in the outfield with Jorian Wilson earlier this year. He has gone to the DH role. Ben Royo is now playing at second base. Hakopian hits a chopper to short, chance for 2. The throw to first in time for the double play, 6-4-3.
Texas State third in the country in double plays and add one more to it. That was pretty perfect. Vasos takes a step back, easy transfer to Bowles over to Stewart. The Bobcats get off the field, 1-2-3.
The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Coca-Cola. Always the real thing. Gorgeous night in the Brazos Valley. Bryan College Station, sun setting off to our west. And Texas State with an opportunity to swing it for the first time here in the bottom of the first inning. Stephen Trout in his 7th season as the head coach at Texas State. We talked about it some last night. They thought their season was over last Saturday. They get an at-large bid into the tournament, and here they are playing in the 1-0 game in their home state. Rashawn Galloway, who had a big collision with the right field wall last night, in the lineup at the top of the order, followed by Manny Salas and Clayton Namkin, top 3. We talked a lot about Texas A&M's lineup and all of the prolific home run power. This Texas State team swings it as well, and they're going to deal with Weston Moss tonight.
Yeah, he's got a big fastball. Big spin rate on that fastball. Same pitch, same velocity, ends up in a different location. That is the definition of spin rate, and it gives the illusion that it's a rise, but it'll just hold its plane. You can get a lot of swing and misses above the belt at 95, 96 miles an hour. Fastball change to left-handers, fastball slider change to right-handers. And the outing that sticks out to me is he had a start against Auburn earlier this month where Auburn had pinned 23 runs on the Aggies here in College Station. And he threw on Sunday and got them into the 7th, 6 strikeouts. And A&M gets 1 win in that series. So Weston Moss has the ability to stop the bleeding.
He was incredible, and that's the game that folks from Texas A&M talk about with Weston Moss. 6 1/3, just 1 run allowed. This one wide of the bag at third. This was late in the ball game last night. Rashawn Galloway on a dead sprint, liner the opposite way, would have given USC a lead, and he made the catch, hammered into the wall, able to somehow hold on to the baseball. We saw him at the plate Couple of at-bats after that play, and he was really struggling to swing the bat.
And that was in the 6th inning. As it turned out, that was a game-saving catch with the runner at third base. And Rashawn Galloway hitting leadoff. Special player.
Got that low wall going into the bullpen out beyond right field. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rashawn Galloway. 48 driven in on the year, 12 home runs. He would like to avoid that wall tonight if possible. Grabbing at that right shoulder. Full count pitch from Weston Moss. And he gets a swing and a miss. Chased a fastball out of the zone, and well, you can see that Rashawn Galloway just trying to fight through it.
Yeah, he's in pain. Any little niche you get on your body when you're swinging a bat, there's too many moving parts, it'll hurt. And we saw him bang into the wall. He was doing this last night after the 6th inning for a couple of at-bats where it just was painful to even swing. And that was a great pitch by Weston Moss on the outside corner for strike 3.
And Todd, we really thought last night it was kind of the rib area, his side, where he really crashed hard into the wall. But I think it's his wrist that took the biggest part of that. You saw as he was walking back to the dugout, pretty heavily taped left wrist. Manny Salas, the junior. 15 home runs on the year for Manny Salas. He was 0 for 4 in last night's game. He sends this one out to left field, and that ball is gone. Manny Salas the opposite way. Texas State strikes first. Salas with his 16th long ball of the year. San Marcos has become Slam Marcos for this baseball team, especially down the stretch. You see the Green Aliens with their fans in the upper deck above the first base dugout. That has become kind of a rallying cry, and Salas gets Texas State on the board first.
That's his 5th hit in 4 games, including this one with 2 home runs. That's 114 home runs for this Bobcat offense. That's a program record. One away from the Sun Belt record.
Back in 2004, New Mexico State with 115 home runs. Here is Clayton Namkin. Namkin takes a first pitch strike. How about the strength to go Oppo?
Yeah, a little change up on the outside corner, and he just stays back and kills it to left field. Big man right there. Backspin to the back side of the field, and Bobcats take an early lead.
Namkin goes after this one, pops it up right side, shallow right field. Keel coming in. He will make the catch. The freshman Namkin from New Braunfels is retired. This is a ballpark that plays small, and among the SEC ballparks this year, it gave up a combined number of home runs greater than any other in the league. More than Foley Field, more than Lindsey Nelson Stadium, more than Baum Stadium in Fayetteville.
Yeah, that's both teams playing here in Blue Belt. Now it is a reflection of the talent that Texas A&M throws out there every day with 116 home runs for this Aggie offense. But point of the story, this ballpark gives up a lot of home runs. Wind's blowing out tonight, thin air, a lot of people in the stands. This ball is going to fly.
So Weston Moss gives up the 1-out solo home run. He's got 2 down in the inning with Jacque Stewart at the plate. Junior from Sinton, Texas. And Stewart is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. 1 for 3 last night, on base a couple of times, scored a run for the Bobcats.
And he had a big weekend in the middle of April against Troy. 5 hits, 4 home runs, and 12 RBIs.
This one on the fist, popped up on the infield and unable to get there. Boy, just dropping in the perfect spot. A&M had the shift on, charging in to try and get there and make the grab was Boston Kellner, the shortstop. They just couldn't quite get there, and it was a 1 hop into the glove.
Yeah, Kellner playing with that mask with a broken orbital bone in his face, and he had no chance right there. He used to come running in. And the ball's going to be a pitching wedge and just land on that grass. Doesn't move anywhere. Kellner can't make the play. Base hit for Jacque.
Kind of a poor man's Phantom of the Opera look on the mask there for Kellner. Was hit in the face by a pitch in the next to last weekend of the regular season against Ole Miss. They ran him through concussion protocol. He was clear on that front, but had the orbital bone issue. Wearing a cage on the front of his mask. Easy hop here for Kellner. Flips to Royo covering at second to end the inning. Couple of hits and a run for Texas State. One to nothing as we go to the second. They lock arms, and it's time to saw them off at Bluebell Park. And a line drive into right field immediately after the fight song here in Aggie Land. Nico Partita going the opposite way to start things for Texas A&M here in the top of the second.
He's a freshman. He doesn't know. Supposed to stop and take a pitch. Rips it to right field. Love watching hitters go the other way, just staying back and just pull it.
Second hit of the game for Texas A&M. Caden Sorrell had the infield single erased by the double play. Now Jake Dewar, left fielder from the left side, and he takes strike. Oh, excuse me, ball one. That one nips the corner, and the count goes to 1-1 on Jake Dewar. They were on base a couple of times last night. A single and hit by a pitch. Take strike two. Jesus Tovar wondered just a touch about the moment. Would it be too big? He gave up the infield single, got the ground out, stayed low in the zone in that first inning.
Well, the main thing is not trying to get a bunch of swing and misses. Just, you're right, just throwing strikes and keeping the ball low, and he did that. Ended up getting the double play to get out of the first inning. Ran through those three dudes at the top of this Aggie offense. All three potentially first-round draft picks: and Gavin Grohovac, Caden Sorrell, and Chris Kopian. And yeah, he's answered that question. He's under control.
Foul tip held on to by Namkin for a strikeout. First of the game for Tovar.
Left-hander's hit 214 off the lefty Jesus Tovar, and that's a nice slider on the outside corner. Dewar opens his right shoulder a little early, and then you just basically run out of bat. Nice pitch.
Bear Harrison, catcher for Texas A&M with 11 home runs on the year. Just missed, 2-0.
Talk about a guy with incredible zone discipline. 39 walks, only 36 strikeouts, 19 hit by pitch. That's most on the team.
Check swing for strike one. Harrison couldn't hold up there.
Reached base last 29 games in a row. During that stretch, 345 with 9 home runs, almost 50% on base.
Bear Harrison sends it out into left field. It's caught there by Jackson Cotton for the second out of the inning. We welcome those of you joining us from Lawrence, Kansas, where the Kansas Jayhawks have advanced to the regional final, hosting a regional for the very first time, alongside 12-year big leaguer and former All-American at LSU, Todd Walker. I'm Richard Cross. Thanks for joining us. An absolutely gorgeous night in the Brazos Valley, College Station, Texas. Sold out and packed to the gills at Bluebell Park. But Texas State, who is the home team in this game tonight, took a little bit of juice out of this crowd with a solo home run from Manny Salas in the bottom of the first inning. Left-handed hitter went the opposite way, lined it over the left field wall. Nico Partita led this second inning off with a single on the first pitch out to right field. Dewar struck out. Harrison with the fly out to left, so 2 down in the inning and a runner at first for the Aggies.
Ben Royho making his 10th start of the year, taking over at second base when Chris Hakopian went down into the DH role because of a collision down the right field line.
Arroyo burst onto the scene, did not have a hit all season long, was plugged into the starting lineup in game one of a doubleheader against Ole Miss that Texas A&M played in the next to last week of the regular season. All he did in the 2 games was go 7 for 7 with 3 home runs. 6 of his 7 hits were with 2 strikes at the plate.
And now on a 7-game heater, 15 hits in those 7 games. He was 1 for 3 last night.
2 balls and a strike to Royo. We got to this 1-0 game by Texas A&M overcoming a 5-0 deficit yesterday. They scored 7 unanswered against Lamar for a 7-5 win. Texas State got a big 2-run home run late last night in the top of the 9th inning from Chase Mora to come from behind and win 5-4 over USC. So this, the 1-0 game, the winner, a berth in the regional final tomorrow night. And you see Chase Mora. He also made an incredible stab at third base to end the game last night against Southern Cal. Nico Partita over at first base. 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts this year. Royo takes it, and the count goes full to the second baseman for the Aggies.
Royo able to hold up. Partita will be moving on the pitch.
Senior from South Texas. He's from Corpus Christi, transferred in from Rice. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. Second strikeout for Jesus Tovar. He's been good so far. He's given up a couple of hits, but has not allowed a run.
Well, the good news for Jesus Tovar is getting away with the fastball. They know it's coming, and he still puts it in a good spot.
One 0 Texas State leading it over Texas A&M thanks to the swing of the bat from that guy, Manny Salas. Bottom of the first, going the opposite way.
6'1", 235, Manny Salas. Backside of the field, rips it. And Adrian the Alien comes out early in this game.
If you're curious why there is a green inflatable alien taped to the wall of the Texas State dugout, it's the unofficial mascot for this team. They were not playing very well in the month of April against the 4 most difficult teams in the Sun Belt Conference. Swept a couple of times, lost 2 more series, and they discovered underneath the grandstands an alien. It's kind of deflated. Somebody picked it up, they blew it up, and they started winning.
Go over to Arkansas State, sweep them, swept the last series of the Sun Belt against Marshall, and won the first 2 games of the tournament. So they got hot, and they adopted a new mascot, unofficial, over there in Adrian the Alien, found under the bleachers. Wow.
What was the ESPN ad campaign? It's only crazy if it doesn't work.
And it's working right now. The boys from Slam Marcos.
Jackson Cotton, the freshman from the left side, takes up and away, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shane Sadeo was the starter last night for Texas A&M. They went to Gavin Lyons, and he really did a good job kind of keeping that game where it was. Weston Moss drawing the start tonight. This one high in the air to left field. Dewar on the run. That's at the wall, and it's gone. Second solo home run of the game. This one for Jackson Cotton, his 13th of the year.
Two home runs for the Bobcats in the same spot, right in that left center tunnel. It seems to be carrying only 98 miles an hour off the bat. Usually you get home runs that exit speed a lot faster than that, but it carries all the way out in left center field. And we've talked about this offense now, 115 home runs.
Freshman's had a great year, double-digit home runs already. Get it up in the air and give it a chance. What little bit of wind we have is out of the south, which means blowing out. Big swing and a miss from Chase Mora on the off-speed, way out in front. So Texas State has now tied the Sun Belt record set 22 years ago by New Mexico State, their 115th home run of the season. The school record previously was 87. 7 players with double-digit home runs this year for Texas State.
Texas A&M with 116 home runs as a team. Texas State with 115. So you're looking at 2 teams that can really put the ball out of the ballpark. And of course, we'll talk about Texas A&M's offense. 9 runs a game average.
Mora goes down swinging. Got him with the hard-breaking ball there for the first out of the inning. Second strikeout from Weston Moss.
Yeah, the key for Weston Moss is to be able to establish his fastball. Now, he's got beat on it a couple times. But if he can show him the fastball and come back with this, it's just very difficult for a hitter to stay back, because you have to respect that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, which means you start cheating with the barrel, and it makes you vulnerable to all the off-speed.
Two solo home runs for Texas State. Now this one chopped to the left side. Partita, the only defender on the left side of the infield, able to make the throw across for the second out of the inning.
That's probably all they need. That kid is good over there. Nico Partita. They had Gavin Grahovac playing third a lot this year, but because Nico Partita is so good over there, Gavin Grahovac moves over to first, and Gavin's been fantastic at first base, all SEC defender.
So coming into tonight's ball game, Texas State was 8th in the country, or tied for 7th in the country with 113 home runs, now just 1 behind Texas A&M, moving to that 7th spot all by themselves.
You're not going to catch those Georgia schools. Georgia Tech hits 360 as a team. I mean, that's another level. And then Georgia, of course, with all the home runs they bash.
Led by National Player of the Year, Golden Spikes Award likely finalist Daniel Jackson, who hit his 29th home run of the season today. 29 home runs and 25 stolen bases for Jackson. Georgia advanced to the regional final earlier in the rain in Athens.
He did hold up, but that was a nice pitch by Weston Moss right on the corner. Doesn't get the call.
Brady Bowles, the 9-hole hitter. Now 3-1 to Bowles. He's hitting 260 on the year, couple of home runs, 17 runs batted in. Two hits last night, including a 2-run home run in the win against USC. And that's ball 4. 2-out base runner. Bowles heads down to first base. First walk of the game from Weston Moss. So the first trip through the order for Texas State. 3 base hits and a walk. 2 solo home runs. And now back to the top of the order, and Rashawn Galloway, who was visibly hampered by the ability to swing the bat and really in a lot of pain, and you see it after every single swing, that big grimace on the face. Galloway hits this one in the air to right. Keel on the run, gets to the track. He'll make the catch there to end the inning. Another solo home run for the Bobcats. 2-zip after 2.
the real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
It all gets started on June 12th. 3 teams here in College Station still alive with that dream, including A&M and Texas State playing right now. Southern Cal, who eliminated Lamar earlier today, 19-6. Terrence Keel, the second, getting the start tonight, and he takes the first pitch strike. He is in right field in place of Jorian Wilson. Jorian Wilson was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game, and Michael Early just trying to find a spark in this part of the lineup and in that position. We'll have a chance to visit with Michael Early coming up after this half inning. Second-year head coach for the Texas A&M Aggies. A&M 40-14 this year. Picked up their 40th victory of the season last night. Won 18 games in the SEC. They were 1 game shy of most of the rest of the league because the 3rd game in their series with Texas was completely washed out. Keel strikes out. 3rd strikeout now for Tovar.
How about Jesus Tovar? Ball doesn't really break like he had hoped it would, but it does the job. Terrence Keel goes after it. Jesus Tovar has been very effective around the zone tonight. 3 strikeouts.
9-hole hitter, the freshman Boston Kellner. Hitting .239 on the year. The freshman from Chandler, Arizona. 5 home runs, 29 driven in. Kellner starting his 53rd game of the season. Missed the 2 games in the doubleheader when he was hit in the face. Otherwise, that's it. And he yanks this one foul. It's interesting. You've got veterans, older guys at the top of the order when you talk about Grahovac and Sorrell and Hakopian who transferred in. But you've got a young nucleus on this team that has been in the everyday lineup. It makes Michael Early awfully excited about the future.
Absolutely. If you can hold down the shortstop position in the SEC, Division I as a freshman.
Kellner strike out and throw him out down at first base. I think Namkin at first thought he was able to get the tag on. We'll have to toss down to first for the 2nd out of the inning. 4 strikeouts, 3 in a row, and 4 of the last 5 from Jesus Tovar.
I don't know why anybody would be surprised, but Stephen Trout just has Texas State believing they can do it. 2022 walked into Stanford. We're 2-0 in that regional before Stanford came back and beat them twice. And then now in this regional, 1-0, wins the game last night, and Jesus Tovar just kind of represents the team, and they're not scared. They come into this College Station environment, just how they walked in on Thursday, the practice with the jam box and acting like they own the place, and they're playing that way.
You and I have been to a lot of those Thursday practice days where teams come in, they get to take infield and outfield, take BP on the field, just go through about an hour and 15, hour and a half practice. I don't know that we've ever seen a group that was looser, looked more excited to be there than Texas State did on Thursday.
Well, that's why I mentioned Stephen Trout. You talk to him, and that's kind of the, persona he portrays is just confidence. And Texas State, with all the powerful offense, they've set a program record for strikeouts on the mound. We talked about the double plays.
This ball high in the air, deep to left field. Forget about it. Tovar looked like he had it on cruise control. Gavin Grahovac, other ideas. Home run number 21 of the year. It's a 2-1 game. Get out the bubble machines. That ball was destroyed.
What's there not to like about Gavin Grahovac? Play corner infield, be a Gold Glove at either third or first base. The SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's smart. 23 home runs his freshman year. 24 is it this year? And just a lot of pop. 2 home runs the last 2 days for Gavin Grohovac at a leadoff spot.
Got the scoring started for A&M yesterday in the 5th inning. He gets the scoring started with a solo home run here in the top of the 3rd.
21 home runs for Gavin Grohovac this year.
Sorrell fouls this one off his foot.
I mean, it is just very difficult to navigate through the top of this Texas A&M order. The entire 9. But Gavin Grohovac, Caden Sorrell, and Chris Hakopian, 54 home runs now between the 3 of those. 100 extra base hits now.
That's only the 3rd home run allowed by Jesus Tovar this season. Squibber left side, charging. Vasos, it's off his glove. And Caden Sorrell twice has gone the opposite way on the infield against the shift.
I thought it was deja vu. They've shifted on Caden Sorrell, and he's beaten it again, although it was right at Mora, but had incredible amount of spin on it. For Mora to have to come in and charge it and glove that ball and make an accurate throw with the spin on that baseball was just going to be difficult. And again, Caden Sorrell, you know who's running, so in your mind as an infielder, you speed it up, and you're not going to get Caden Sorrell on that one.
Like I said, Vasos. Mora was the only infielder. The 3rd baseman played in the shortstop spot on that side of the infield. Hakopian takes a strike that the crowd here at Bluebell didn't particularly agree with. Grounded into a double play to end the 1st inning. That's here with a runner at first and 2 down. Solo home run for Grohovac and a single for Sorrell. This would beat into the ground on the right side, fielded by Bowles. He'll toss it over to Stewart to end the inning. But Gavin Grohovac gets Texas A&M on the board. A towering home run to left field. We got a 1-run game.
21st home run for Gavin Grohovac. Knew it right away. That bat got hot in a hurry. Bobcats still owe 2-1 lead. Look at all the bubbles.
Two-one Texas State ahead of Texas A&M as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and we're joined by Michael Early, the head coach of the Aggies in his 2nd season. Coach, when we talked on Thursday, I asked you about Gavin Grohovac. You said it's a relationship that goes way back. 2 days in a row in a deficit right out of the gate, and he's the one that gets the scoring started for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that all year, right? When we kind of feel like we're in a, I don't want to say we're in a lull, it's early in the game, but he seems to have a knack to get the game going.
Mike, what about this atmosphere here tonight? I mean, this is pretty special.
It's incredible, ain't it? I mean, this is such an unbelievable place to play. I mean, look around. I mean, there's no better place to play in college baseball than right here.
Weston Moss giving up a couple of solo shots. You okay with what you've seen from him
yeah,
so
for
far?
sure. I mean, some of those heaters, I mean, the last guy just got to one up and out. I don't even know if it was a strike. But, yeah, he's been good, filling it up, throwing strikes. We just got to – you got to limit the multi-home run. And, you know, those solo ones, they can get you if there's too many, but we can live with them right now.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
2nd season in College Station after the unpopular departure of Jim Schlossnagle after the College World Series. It's a question about where does the program go next. There was so much momentum. They decided that Michael Early was the right choice. The players that were on this team absolutely rallied around that idea. A year ago, disappointing, a season that had significant injuries, including one to Gavin Grahovac that caused him to miss the year and end up back here again this season. A big-time response for a guy that is one of the best hitting coaches in all the game.
Yeah, Michael Early was an assistant here at A&M since 2022 until he took the head job in the College World Series with this Aggie team 2022 and 2024. So he's no stranger to postseason play. This is his first as a head coach, but players seem to respond to him. They like him, and that's a tough line to be respected, but also kind of be their friend, and it feels like Michael Early can do that.
And he's talked about having to navigate that, especially with some of the old players that he recruited and had a relationship that went way back. Said sometimes when you're the assistant coach, you're a little bit more of a friend to the guys. You get into that head coach spot, and you've kind of got to set that aside, and it's because of the leadership of some of the senior players, the older guys on this roster, especially Gavin Grahovac and Caden Sorrell, that he's been able to do that.
Yeah, Weston Moss gets revenge on Manny Salas after the first inning home run. Comes back and challenges him on the outside corner again. Remember, Manny Salas took the ball the other way for a home run. Just actually late on the off speed. 3 strikeouts tonight for Weston Moss.
Clayton Namkin flew out to right his first time up. Breaking ball for strike one there to Namkin. Namkin, the freshman from New Braunfels, Texas. Impressed with him defensively behind home plate. Making his 46th start of the season and his 50th game. You walk into that position in particular as a true freshman, and you couple good work defensively with better than 300 average and double-digit home runs. But he goes down on strikes here. Back-to-back strikeouts from Weston Moss. He's got 4 tonight.
Now he's starting to feel it. Shut down 3 hitters in a row. 1, 2, 3 in this Bobcat order. And another slider down and away. Namkin not able to grab the handle. A lot of torque coming out of Weston Moss.
Jaquay Stewart singled on the infield in his first at bat. Texas A&M. Shift on Stewart once again with 3 infielders on the right side of the bag. He gets a piece of that one. Different ways that you can play the shift for Texas A&M. They leave Kellner, the shortstop, as the lone guy on the left side of the infield. There's strike 2. Weston Moss looks like he's pitching with a little more purpose.
Yeah, in these games, especially with all the crowd and everything going around with the emotion, you got to start to find your groove. And Weston Moss has found it. Strikes out the side, all on off-speed pitches. Gets Manny Salas, Clayton Namkin, and now Jaquay Stewart. Slider low and away. Weston Moss is fired up, and so is the Aggies.
Park on the campus of Texas A&M. Packed house, gorgeous night. 2-1 ball game. A lot of howdies when you're in College Station. Chopper, left side. That one going to be a base hit. Slips under the glove of Vasos after it got past Mora. Leadoff single for Nico Partita. How about 2 for 2 for Partita?
Sometimes it's just good to be lucky. I mean, right in the hole, barely out of the reach of both Mora and Vasos into left field. Second hit of the game for Nico Partita. Second leadoff hit.
Second first pitch hit, right? Didn't he go after the first pitch in the second inning and just line it out into right field?
Well, that's what the Aggies do well, too. 10th in the country. Almost a .450 batting average on the first pitch. So it's a combination of
that's an incredible number.
That's knowing when to go after the first pitch, because there's times you do it. I always feel like it's a hitter's. It benefits the hitter the more you face a pitcher, and they're also top 20 in Division I by seeing 4 pitches per plate appearance. So they're patient, but when they know they can get it on the first pitch, and that pitcher's trying to just lay one in there for strike one, they're very good.
Really is a contrast when you talk about the number of pitches that they see per at bat combined with the batting average going after first pitches.
Yeah, and again, I always thought, now that I know what I know, I would see as many pitches as I could my first at bat, because you see the tempo, the timing, the release point, you see what the pitches look like, and it just makes you better for the rest of the game, even if you're not facing the same guy.
This ball out into center field. Fryman on the run, still on the run. Home run! Jake Dewar goes deep for the 7th time this year, and Texas A&M takes its first lead of the night. That ball left the bat at 107 miles an hour, traveled 413 feet to just left of straightaway center field.
Spent last year at Florida Atlantic, 34 starts before he got injured. Transfers over to Texas A&M, 1 for 4 last night, and that was a bomb to center field. Puts the Aggies in ahead.
All the runs in this game scored via the long ball so far.
This is big time leverage on a slider, lefty-lefty matchup, and he just sits back as he knew that was coming. 413 feet left of the American flag.
This ball, line drive into center field, falls in front of Fryman. That's 3 straight to start the inning. The single by Partita just had eyeballs on it, and a 2-run home run and a base hit for Bear Harrison.
Well, that's basically 6 barrels in a row for the Aggies. Going back to last inning with the home run by Gavin Hoback. Base hit by Caden Sorrell, which wasn't really a barrel. Got jammed. Hard hit ball by Okopi in the second. Now a base hit, home run, and another base hit. And that's going to get Steven Trout out there to slow things down a bit.
And that will get this crowd going in Aggieland. You get the meeting on the mound, and the NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home of all NCAA championships. A wild first day yesterday in regional play that saw 4 1 seeds lose. Southern Miss eliminated today. Auburn able to stay alive. They scored 17 runs. Florida State unable to play today because of the weather. And UCLA, bottom of the 9th inning, they were down 2 runs, got back-to-back solo home runs, ended up winning at 6-5 to stay alive. Aggies trying to go to a regional final for the 28th time in program history. Texas State looking for just the second regional final appearance. That last happened in 2022 out at Stanford.
Not a great month for the Texas A&M Aggies. They've gone 6-6 in the month of May. But in regionals, undefeated in 4 hosts. They hosted in 2016, 2022, 2024, went 9-0, won last night.
2 balls and no strikes to Ben Royo. Swing and a miss, and you hear the gas from the crowd. When you get to a 2-0 count, they all of a sudden can feel the ball 4 chant.
Do they know baseball around here? I mean, they know when you're in a hitter's count. And Jesus Tovar just pulls the string on that one. Fools Royo.
Royo 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's ahead of the count here, 2-1. On the ground is short. Vasos to second for 1, to first for the double play. That's big for Tovar and the Bobcats.
They are so good. Again, top 3 in the country in double plays. I think that's the 61st double play for Texas State. And it's just picture perfect. Vasos over to Bowles with the quick transfer. Right on the money to Stewart.
2 home runs tonight for Texas A&M. A solo shot from Gavin Grahovac and a 2-run home run from Jake Dewar. There are only 2 home runs hit off of Jesus Tovar all season long in 67 innings of work coming into this ball game.
Well, he's not facing a regular offense either. Texas A&M averages 90 mile an hour every time they put the ball in play. That's 7th in the country.
The last time Jesus Tovar gave up 2 home runs in a game, February 25th, 2025 against Texas A&M. Terrence Keel. There's a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, this Texas State baseball team beat A&M back on April the 7th. They lost to them March 17th. So these 2 teams have split this year. That win against Texas A&M was in San Marcos.
This one in the air to right. Galloway at the track, reaches up, and it hits off the wall. That ball carried maybe a little farther than Galloway thought off the bat. And Todd, I can't help but wonder, did he hear ghosts in his head from that big collision into the wall last night?
That's a great call. I mean, he hit it hard last night. He goes back, and it's a little tricky with that ball, that wall being cut in half. And I think he just kind of shied away from it. Dropped in Keel with a double.
It almost looked like he overran it and then had to kind of reach back, and at that point got turned around. But Terrence Keel with the double, and now Boston Kellner to the plate looking for a 2-out base hit to extend this 1-run lead. Throw to second with Bowles covering there on a timing play. And Texas State got a pick off at second base last night. It was a huge play in the game to help squash a Southern Cal rally. Just outside. Ball and a strike to Kellner. Aggies 3 runs on 7 hits, batting here with 2 out in the top of the 4th. Tovar delivers the 2-1. Pretty good pitch there. Goes to 3-1. This ball, a one hopper to the second baseman. Bowles tosses it over, and that ends the inning. 2 runs on the board for Texas A&M, and the Aggies are in front for the first time tonight.
After Nico Partita singles Jake Dewar with the bomb. Aggies up by 1.
Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Olson Field at Bluebell Park in College Station, Texas. Packed and overflowing on this gorgeous Saturday night in the Lone Star State. We've got a Lone Star State battle between Texas A&M and Texas State. 2-0 lead for Texas State with a couple of solo home runs in the first and the second. Gavin Grahovac hit a solo shot in the third to make it 2-1. And then a 2-run home run from Jake Dewar has given the Aggies their first lead. Weston Moss has retired the last 4 that he has faced, including 3 straight strikeouts to end, well, 3 strikeouts in a row in the third inning. Struck out the side, all swinging. Justin Vassos grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning. That ended the inning. Leads off here in the bottom of the 4th with the Bobcats trailing for the first time tonight. Fastball up a little bit. Good take there by Vassos. He started at second base last night. Bowles started at shortstop, and during the game, the two of them
Switched.
flipped positions. Strike 3 called. Vassos goes away looking. That is 4 in a row and 6 total now for Weston Moss.
Man, he's got to feel that slider. This is what happened last time in the second. Jackson Cotton, the opposite direction, just kind of flies out. Adrian the Indian likes it. So do the Bobcats. That gave Texas State their second run. Jackson Cotton, the freshman.
Got it up in the air. It just kept going and going and going and snuck over the wall. 13th home run of the year for Jackson Cotton back in the second inning. And we've talked about this being a park that gives up some long balls. Among the SEC stadiums this year, when you combine the 2 teams playing, more home runs per game hit here than anywhere else.
Yeah, and clearly a lot of that has to do with the Aggie offense, but it does fly here in College Station.
We're already beyond the average at 3.9. We've got 4 so far tonight.
I was told we wouldn't have to do math.
Well, I only have 10 fingers, so once it gets to a certain point, I'm done as well. The 1-2 in the dirt. Pitch to Cotton. Swing and a miss. That is 5 straight strikeouts. 3 in the third and the first 2 here in the fourth for Weston Moss.
All on sliders. So he's setting up the slider with the fastball. And you wouldn't know unless you're in the box, but that tight spin, it's just, these Bobcat hitters are just having a tough time picking it up. That's a late swing on an off speed by Jackson Cotton. And Weston Moss might have something wrong with his hand. We already had the Lamar pitcher earlier today come out of the game with a blister.
Chopper to third, fielded by Partita. Easy toss across, and 1, 2, 3 go the Bobcats. That's 7 in a row retired by Weston Moss. We'll talk with Stephen Trout when we come back. Texas A&M leading at 3-2 over Texas State as we go to the 5th inning, and we are joined now by the head coach of the Bobcats, Stephen Trout, in his 7th season. Coach, I know a big environment tonight. Your team seems to just kind of absorb everything. How much fun is it for your guys to play in an environment like this?
Yeah, I mean, this is why you practice since August to play in environments like this and postseason baseball in the great state of Texas. So, yeah, we're embracing every moment, and yeah, you get to play in front of a packed house. That's what you do all that work for in the fall and the spring, and recruiting all summer.
Stephen, I mean, you've been a part of this 2022 back at Stanford, now at it again. Is there a message that you have to say to the team, or do they just take care of it themselves?
Yeah, just go have fun, enjoy the moment, go play. The pressure's not on us by any stretch, and so just go play the game freely. We got to get this guy. He's doing a good job with this cutter slider there, make some adjustments, but yeah, just keep playing the game, keep doing what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and the game will take care of itself.
Coach, we'll let you go, but I got to ask you about Second Life. You told us about that on Thursday when we talked. You guys thought you were done, and here you are trying to advance to a regional final.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it 1,000 times, and yeah, second chance to go. So there's no way to play with pressure, no way to play with anything other than having fun, getting after it, and just embrace the moment. So we're here. Let's go get a win.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
This ball hit in the air, shallow center field. Long run in for Fryman, diving, and he's able to make the catch. Todd, it looked like he broke. Did he break back first and then have to just come on a dead sprint?
Well, why would he not after Grahovac just hit one 450 feet out that direction? So when Grahovac's at the plate, that's your initial thought when he hits it in the air is it's going to be deep. And he did break back. But what a nice recovery by Fryman to come in and make that play.
He took 2 full steps back, planted, realized, and then on a dead sprint, able to get there and get the leadoff out in the inning. So here is Caden Sorrell. They shift against him for the third time in as many at-bats. Twice he has gone the opposite way. Twice he's gotten infield singles. Make it 3 for 3, but this one he sends down toward the left field corner. Sorrell hits the bag at first and cruises into second with a 1-out double. What a piece of hitting there by Caden Sorrell. That is his 19th double of the year.
There were spray charts which show you that a guy like Caden Sorrell pulls the ball 70% of the time. But if you have the ability to do this, why would you shift on somebody like that? You have to pitch to it. And now Caden Sorrell, albeit 2 numbers to the left side, has hit the ball left side 3 times. And they still have overloaded the right side. Caden Sorrell gets a double.
Why don't more guys do that? We're seeing the shift all over college baseball. Is it an inability or a stubbornness? What is it?
To hit the other way?
Yeah.
Well, if you have the ability to do that, I don't know why you would shift. There are some guys like Gary Sheffield, for example, that is not going the other way. Kevin Millar, you know, they're going to pull the baseball. But Caden Sorrell's not that guy. I mean, clearly he has the ability to go anywhere. And that wasn't going to be stopped by anybody. But too many times, you know, with the day and age we live in, it shifts. You try to overthink the game a little bit, and you get burnt.
Chris Hakopian, runner on second. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs on the infield. Double play in the first, and a ground out to Bowles out at second base in the third. Big home run yesterday for Hakopian. That was off a pretty good breaking ball there, and he's ahead in the count 3-0. Nico Partita waits on deck. This one, a base hit through the left side, past Mora at third. Sorrell hits the bag at third. Here comes the throw into the infield. It's cut off, and Texas A&M leads it 4-2. Hakopian with the RBI single picks up his 37th ribby of the year. That's 9 hits now for the Aggies.
So hard to navigate through these first 3 hitters. Jesus Tovar got through it in the first. Gave up the home run to Gavin Grahovac in the third. And now here in the 5th. Double by Sorrell, single by Hakopian. And another run for the Aggies, up 4-2.
Infield coming together. ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage, scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. It has been phenomenal this weekend. Cal Poly leading 4-1 over St. Mary's. You've got Ole Miss with a 3-1 lead over Nebraska and Lincoln in the 7th inning. Just a sample of what you're getting on Squeeze Play right now. If you haven't tried it, what are you waiting for?
How about Little Rock? They took LSU, the national champions, last year to Game 7 of their regional in Baton Rouge, and now they're back at it again in the winnings bracket ahead of Jacksonville State 4-3.
That's Jacksonville State team.
Oh, they're good.
Texas State going to make a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back. Aggies in front 4-2. Jesus Tovar had only given up 2 home runs all season. He gives up 2 tonight through 4 1/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs. He did have 4 strikeouts. The runner on first, Chris Hacopian, belongs to Tovar, and he'll turn things over to Dylan Curbo, pitching for the 2nd day in a row. Senior from the Woodlands, making his 19th appearance of the season. 13 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Yeah, through last night, 2/3 of an inning, faced 2 hitters, struck out 1. Low 90s fastball. Primary pitch is a curveball, especially a right-hander. It's almost 45% of the time. Mixes in the change to the left-handers, but Texas A&M only has 2 left-handed hitters in this lineup. Equally good against the right-hand hitters and the left-handers hitters at about 220 against.
Curbo was the 4th pitcher used last night in the win against USC. Nico Partita has seen 2 pitches. He has 2 singles. 1 to the right side, 1 to the left side. Yeah, he takes a pitch and it's a strike.
What in the world?
Oregon and Washington State. Tight game in Eugene. Oh, 2 now to Nico Partita. Cincinnati and Mississippi State locked in a 1-1 game in Starkville in the 5th inning. Florida and Miami, a little Sunshine State rivalry. The Gators in front 8-6 in the 5th inning. What a day of baseball. Elimination games. We saw some big numbers on the scoreboard at a bunch of sites earlier in the day.
I still can't believe what UCLA pulled off. 3 outs to go in the
incredible.
bottom of the 9th. They go home run to tie it, and then walked off Virginia Tech to stay alive.
On the ground, left side. Long way to go for Vasos. He gets the out at second, but not enough time to turn the double play. Good job getting the lead runner for the 2nd out of the inning. No story bigger than UCLA. Back-to-back home runs. Bottom of the 9th, they end up winning it. Auburn 17-13 over NC State. Southern Miss becomes the first national seed to be eliminated. They lost in 10 innings to Virginia. Tennessee bounced in 2 games. After a 14-inning loss yesterday to ECU, they lose to VCU. Jake Dewar. Pretty much a line drive home run to just left of straightaway center field in his last at bat. 2-run home run that put the Aggies in front 3-2. Our score 4-2 here in the top of the 5th.
Well traveled. Spent 2023 and 2024 at TCU. Transferred to Florida Atlantic last year. Now here at Texas A&M.
Takes that off the plate for ball 1. Here's another look at the swing from the 4th inning.
That ball was hammered. Opposite field, deepest part of the park. Only 7 home runs. This guy's got a lot of pop.
Dewar originally from Flower Mound, Texas. Dylan Curbo into the game, replacing Jesus Tovar. 4 1/3 from the starter. Curbo trying to keep it where it is and give the big bats from Texas State a chance to try to get going again. Trying to solve Weston Moss, who has struck out 5 of the last 6 that he has faced and has retired 7 in a row. Runner at first is Chris Hacopian. He had about a 1.5 step lead and still went head first back into the bag.
Well, I think that collision not only affects him defensively, but also running. You wouldn't see him try to steal a base.
Sorry, Partita at first. It was the fielder's choice that erased Hakopian for the second out of the inning.
And you wouldn't see him steal a base because he wasn't there.
That's right. Another reason. So Partita now in scoring position at second base as Dewar draws the walk. Texas A&M trying to keep it going with 2 outs in the inning. Got a couple of 2-out base hits tonight. 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. This one runs inside, and Harrison, who was 1 for 2 tonight, fly out in a single. That walk to Dewar was the first of the game. Tovar did not walk anybody as the starter. On the ground. Shortstop Vasos, long throw across and a good scoop at first base by Jacquez Stewart. Aggies will leave a couple on base here in the 5th inning. But an RBI single by Chris Hakopian scored Caden Sorrell, and the Aggies extend their lead.
Vasos so good at shortstop, ranging to his right, throws it down. What a nice pick by Stewart. Texas State coming up.
Three Texas teams and a little bit of California cool here in College Station. Texas State just 120 miles away at San Marcos. It's 180 to Beaumont, and those are both drivable, especially with the NCAA in charge of the travel. Not so much for Southern Cal, 1,500 miles, and the Trojans able to extend their stay in the Lone Star State. How about 58% of the players in this regional from the state of Texas? You think they love their baseball here in Texas?
3 teams from the state of Texas. I don't know why you'd have to go outside the state to find talent. There's so many good baseball players here. That's why you see that high number.
Because sometimes you can get Gavin Grahovac when you go out of state.
Yeah, well, there are some exceptions.
A few. Bennett Fryman. 0 for 1 with a ground out. Was Fryman the guy that was carrying the speakers, or was he just picking the music?
No, he was carrying. You say speakers, I call it jam box.
You do?
Yeah, it's much better visual. Old school jam box, playing Dirty Money by Pausa. I'm telling you, that was kind of cool. Everybody kind of stopped in their tracks and looked to right field, and in walks the Texas State Bobcats, jamming.
I think Mora was the toter of the speakers, and Fryman, he was kind of the DJ. He was the one picking the songs, and he lines this one out to left. Hauled in by Dewar for the first out of the inning. Okay, what about Weston Moss? Now 8 in a row, Todd, retired by Moss, including 5 strikeouts.
Well, he got away with that one. Ben Fryman put that one right on the nose out to left field. Just happened to be right at Dewar. But he has been very good. Limiting the pitch count. 5 strikeouts in the last 2 innings. 5 of 6 between the 3rd and the 4th inning. It's the first out here in the 5th.
First pitch strike to Brady Bowles, the 9-hole hitter, drew a walk. That's the only walk of the game by Weston Moss. Came with a couple of outs in the 2nd inning.
Well, we told the story earlier this month. Auburn walked in here and scored 23 runs in a doubleheader on Saturday. And Weston Moss takes the ball on Sunday. Pitches them into the 7th. Shut Auburn out for 6 innings. So that's the ability that Weston Moss has.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Brady Bowles. Early 2-0 lead for Texas State. It's now 4-2 Aggies. Strike 3 called there, and that gets this crowd going again. 8th strikeout for Weston Moss, which ties a career high. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Yeah, retro Astros lid there, I think. Chopper, left side, fielded by Partita, gathers and throws. And once again, the Bobcats go 1, 2, 3.
Exclusively on ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
New pitcher in the game for Texas State. It's Kyle Frelich, the senior from Saskatchewan. 6 feet, 195 pounds, making his 22nd appearance of the year. How about that strikeout to walk breakdown? 63 punch outs, just 6 walks on the year for Freeling.
Pretty good. Only 6 walks in 59 innings, 90 to 93 on the fastball. Pretty good against both left-handers and right-handers, about 275 each. Fastball, cutter, slider, curve, change, kind of throw the kitchen sink at you, but he's fastball change heavy against left-handed hitters. Again, the Aggies only have 2 of those.
That's another one of those 10-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, I started had smoke coming out of my ears trying to really find out the strikeout to walk ratio on that one, but I'll go with what you said.
10 point something.
Yeah, 10 plus.
We'll call it 10. Texas A&M has come to life in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. A solo home run by Gavin Grahovac in the 3rd got it going. A 2-run shot from Jake Dewar. And then an RBI single from Chris Akopian scored Caden Sorrell in the 5th. 2-run advantage for the Aggies, wearing the gray uniforms in their home ballpark as the visiting team. Ben Royo 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Royo hits this one in the air to right. Galloway going back. He'll settle shy of the warning track and make the catch.
And Royo gave it a ride. Every time the ball gets in the air deep, you think it's going to fly out of here. That one stays in the ballpark. Kyle Freeling does what he does best, and that's attack the zone.
Terrence Keel, he hit one out to right to Galloway. It's the ball where Galloway kind of got turned around at the wall, overran it just a touch and couldn't haul it in. It was a double for Terrence Keel, the second. This one on the ground, right side base hit. 2-hit night for Keel. We've seen hitters tonight, Todd, really on both sides with not just a willingness, but the ability to go the opposite way.
That's the only way you can be consistent and hit for an average. To be able to use the other side of the ballpark. Terrence Keel does a nice job there.
Austin Kellner 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Looking for his first hit, and he takes low for ball 1.
You look at this compact swing here, just gets beat by the fastball a little bit. Best way to do that is just think in your mind off-speed tempo. And if he throws the fastball, you're just quick enough. And quick doesn't mean pull. It just means quick enough to react to the fastball. You spend a lot of at-bats that way, or I did. Sitting off speed, reacting fastball. Now clearly in 3-1 counts, 3-2 bases loaded, plus counts for hitters, you're looking more dead red fastball. But each and every pitch count kind of changes your mind on how you're going to attack the baseball. And when I talk about using the other side of the field, the other part of it is the adjustments you make in your mind as a hitter based on what the pitcher has, what the situation is, and what you're trying to do.
Terrence Keel tied for the team lead in stolen bases. He and Caden Sorrell both have 10 this year. Sorrell 10 of 14, Keel 10 of 11. A little bit of a hesitation as he went back there. Good time to run.
Yeah, and he led the league, led the team in stolen bases last year in limited starts, so he can really go, and he knows how to time up pitchers. He's looking to go. He's just trying to pick the right pitch to do it.
There he goes, and this ball fouled away. Gotta put a good swing on it. Keel got a good jump there.
Almost got too good of a jump on that pick play there, but you're right. On the next one, he was off. Second, that Freeling lifted his leg. And he'll keep trying. And this is you start distracting the pitcher in this way, he's more likely to make a mistake when he delivers it to home plate. and more likely to throw a fastball because any off speed gives Keel more time to get down to second base.
Out into left center, a base hit for Kellner, his first hit of the night. Look at Keel go. He's going to hit the bag at third. They'll slam on the brakes there. It's a double for Boston Kellner. Aggies with 2 in scoring position with 1 out, trying to add to the lead here in the top of the 6th.
Right foot on the bag, inside part of the bag, over to third. Keel with a nice angle into third base. A little inside out for Boston Kellner out of the 9 spot. Puts it in left center. Aggies with some life here in the 5th.
Keel was not going on that pitch. If he had been, he probably would have scored.
Yeah. He definitely would have scored. And of course, he tried to steal the bag the pitch before.
That's not the soft pop-up flat foul ball that you want to catch. That one was 100 off the bat down into the right field corner.
You wonder what we used to do without nets covering the stands. 100 miles an hour coming in.
Strike 2 on Gavin Grahovac. Ground out, home run, and a fly out. 21 long balls on the year. He's driven in 73 with a .344 average. The 1-2 punch of Grahovac and Sorrell at the top of the order. Likely the best in the country. This one in the dirt. Keel going to stay put at third base.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Anytime the 8 and 9 can get on for the Aggies, they turn the lineup over to these 1, 2, 3 guys, especially with less than 2 outs. It's going to be tough.
Runners in scoring position, well over 400 for Grahovac on the year. He's got 2 of them right here. Keel at third, Kellner at second. But chased one in the dirt, and now the ball gets away from the catcher, Namkin. Grahovac on a strikeout is going to be standing at first base, safe.
Great block by Clayton Namkin. I think he just took his eye off of it. Great block to keep it in front, and then he swiped it and kicked it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of was looking at Keel. At the same time, he went down to try to grab it, and he kicks it.
He's trying to go bare hand.
No, he looked up.
You're right.
He looked up at Kyle Freelich. Either way, he got distracted, kicked the ball away, and big break for the Aggies.
As he was trying to pick it up, he peeked up, couldn't grab it cleanly, then kicked it away, and so the Aggies have the bases loaded with 1 out. The winner of this College Station Regional will meet up with the winner of the Chapel Hill Regional. Right now, North Carolina in the driver's seat after a 7-5 win today against ECU. VCU and East Carolina will play an elimination game tomorrow. The winner of that game would have to beat the Tar Heels twice. UNC, the number 5 overall seed. Texas A&M, the 12 seed. So the 5 and 12 matchup in the bracket. If North Carolina wins that regional, they will host in Chapel Hill. Well, this crowd's feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Bases loaded for the Aggies with 1 down. Top of the 6th inning, a 4-2 game. And Caden Sorrell trying to bust it wide open. He takes strike 1.
This, to me, is the action pitch as a hitter. He doesn't want to go to 2-0. You got the bases loaded.
Freelich gets a swing and a miss. A sword look there from Caden Sorrell. He's behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, that one just jammed him up. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. He's gone the opposite direction 3 times. Maybe he's trying to guide it a little bit.
for 9 this year with 1 grand slam from Caden Sorrell with the bases loaded. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase the fastball up. Big second out.
Yeah, nice sequence by Kyle Freelich. 2 in a row above the belt. That was a nice spot on the outside corner. As the ball gets above the belt, closer to your eyes, it just looks better as a hitter. It starts to look kind of like a beach ball, but again, at 94, 95 miles an hour, it's just tough to catch up to.
Now Chris Hacopian had a big 2-run home run yesterday. It's the first pitch on the ground to short, bobbled by Vasos, picks it up, throws, not in time. Hacopian beats it out. Run comes home to score. It's 5-2, Texas A&M, although we're going to have a challenge from Texas State. And
Texas State is challenging the safe call at first base.
I would say good use of a challenge here. Scoring play versus the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a tough hop to Vasos. Hit pretty good. And nice job trying to recover. Nice pick over at first base by Stewart, but I think he got him. Beat it out.
You talked earlier about the collision that Hacopian had. Yeah, he's foot on the bag, isn't he? Affecting maybe that collision, kind of the collateral of that affecting his ability to run at maybe 100%, but we got down the line there with everything he had.
Enough to get it done there. And he knew, and you know, as a runner, if you can just get to the bag, it's a run.
Keel came home to score on the play. Kellner to 3rd. Krahovic to 2nd. We want to know what Vasos was dealing with at short. 108 off the bat.
After review, the call of field is confirmed. Texas State has 1 challenge remaining.
Yeah. Plus a little bit of a short hop, just hit him right in the palm of the glove. Again, once it hits the ground, you can pick it up with your bare hand, and he did all he could do after the fact, but it just wasn't enough.
If I'm the scorekeeper there, I'm not the official scorekeeper, but if I am, I think I'm giving a hit there. You disagree?
Yeah, I was right at him, and that's the age-old thing. You know, don't get me started on
I understand.
Yeah, any ball that's not played, I think they all ought to be hits. If they can't make the play, if I hit it 108, he can't glove it. It's not my fault.
It is E6 on Hacopian. Well, not on Hacopian, on Vasos. Hacopian reaches on the E6, so no RBI there. Nico Partita, his turn with the bases loaded. First pitch missed for ball 1. Third base, Boston Kellner. Gavin Grahovac out at 2nd. Chris Hacopian at 1st. Nico Partita ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Kyle Freelich trying to get out of this jam. He delivers a strike, 2-1 as the train goes by beyond the right field wall. Nico Partita has a grand slam this season. Saw a home run earlier today with the train making its way past. This one ripped foul down the 3rd base line. Partita just a little out in front there.
So that's what I'm talking about when you're building an at-bat. The next pitching sequence almost always is the off-speed. So now all of a sudden I'm not looking fastball. I'm looking for Kyle Freelich's 2nd best pitch, the off-speed.
21st pitch of the inning here from Freelich. Oh, and it hit Partita. He'll shake it off. He'll head to 1st. He'll get an RBI. Texas A&M gets another run. It's 6-2.
Kyle Frelick just trying to get another tick on the velocity there, 93 miles an hour, and just let it go early. Pops Nico Partita for another run.
Ow.
Well, it could have been worse. My goodness, I didn't hit him right in the face.
Catch him kind of at the back of the neck almost.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So Vrhomek at third, Hakopian at second.
Oh, it did hit the bat after it hit his shoulder.
Jake Dewar. Already tonight, Jake Dewar with a home run, his 7th of the year, a 2-run shot. Hit it just to the left of the batter's eye.
Now this is the one where you adjust, and now you're sitting dead red. Nowhere to put him. Just got to get the timing right.
Dewar on the ground, a base hit out into right field. Vrhomek comes home to score. Here comes Hakopian. It's a 2-run single. Nico Partita goes to third. Jake Dewar delivering, and it's now 8-2 Texas A&M.
Texas A&M averaging 9 runs a game. They're almost there now. And that's through the entire season. This offense is real.
Jake Dewar now over 50 driven in for the year. He's got 4 tonight, the 2-run home run and now the 2-run single, 51 runs batted in. Bear Harrison, the 9th hitter of the inning to come to the plate for Texas A&M. Harrison 1 for 3 with the single. Runners at the corners and still 2 down. And this one misses up. Fire off the bubbles, but then they just linger. Coming to join us here in the booth. Big swing and a miss there from Bear Harrison. He's got plenty of pop in his bat. Catcher with 11 home runs this year.
They had 3 home runs in 3 straight games back at the end of April.
Junior from Danville, California, transfer from St. Mary's.
Brother Kyle Harrison for the Milwaukee Brewers. 10 starts this year, 1.57. He's dealing.
Whew. Ninth pitch of the inning. There's a swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Count goes to 2-2. He asked Big Brother to throw BP to him when they're home.
Probably got him to where he is now. He strikes out 17% of his plate appearances, so he doesn't take a whole lot of swings like what you just saw.
That one hits Harrison. And once again, the bases are loaded. The Aggies bat around here in the 6th inning. This team in maroon and white, maybe a little black and blue after this one is over.
Took that one like a catcher. Didn't even flinch.
The guy that started the inning with a fly out to right, going to get another turn, but probably against another pitcher. Ben Royo is the only Aggie in the lineup that has not reached base tonight. In fact, he's the only without a hit in the ball game. 8-2, Texas A&M in front, trying to do damage with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. UFL's weekend continues tomorrow afternoon. Orlando on the road at D.C. That's at noon Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. You know who the quarterback is for D.C.?
I have no idea. I'm sure Johnny Manziel.
It is decidedly not Johnny Manziel. Former Ole Miss quarterback Jordan Ta'amu.
Okay.
There you go. Noon tomorrow on ABC. The UFL season rolls on. This game rolls on as well. Keller Eberle into the game. Aggie football players in the house tonight and a whole lot of others. Ben Royo. First pitch strike. Royo, the 10th hitter of the inning to come to the plate, started things off. Eberle making his 11th appearance of the year. Fourth pitcher used tonight by Texas State. This one knocked down by Mora at third. It skips away. A run comes home to score, and everybody's safe. And now all 9 in the order for the Aggies have a base hit tonight.
Great effort by Chase Mora over at third base. He did save at least 1 run. The ball gets in there. And it's 2 runs for the Aggies. Instead, only the 1 run scores. Now all 9 hitters for Texas A&M have gotten at least 1 hit. 13 on the board for the Aggies.
9 runs, 13 hits. No errors, 5 left on base tonight for Texas A&M. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. For Texas State, 2 of those 3 hits are solo home runs. Terrence Keel's got a couple of hits in the ball game for A&M. Long swing and a miss there behind in the count, 0-2. See the scores from the other regionals in the top of your screen. Kentucky headed to a regional final after knocking off West Virginia. How about the Kansas Jayhawks? They've been one of the great stories of this college baseball season. They go 2-0 in their first 2 games in the Lawrence Regional, hosting for the first time ever. Looked like a great environment there today.
Oh, yeah. Dan Fitzgerald, what a nice job he's done. That assistant coach under Jay Johnson at LSU takes that job, what was it, 4 years ago? And what a turnaround. You know, in baseball, you think you just throw the players out there and they just play. But in college baseball, there's distinct coaches that make such a difference. Dan Fitzgerald, one of them in Kansas. I always think about Dave Van Horn at Arkansas and that string of 18 wins or more in the SEC for 9 straight years. Just incredible with the turnover in college baseball, what some of these coaches can do to turn programs around or keep it consistent.
Eberle thought he had strike 3 right there. Did not get the call from home plate umpire Joe Harris. Pretty consistent zone so far tonight. Terrence Keel to second. A double in the 4th. Singled and scored a run in the 6th. Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Eberle delivers. 2 in a row, pretty close.
A little bit outside, didn't miss by much, but I think in this situation.
Hampkin tried to pull it back and steal one there. 2-2. And he gets him to chase. That's a strikeout to end the inning. A big inning for Texas A&M. 4 more on the board. Aggies in control. Six straight national champions from the SEC. LSU a year ago, Tennessee, Tony Vitello's club the season before that as the #1 seed. It was LSU in 23. Back to 2022, Ole Miss with its first national title 1 year after Mississippi State won their first title. 2020, that year didn't even happen. Vanderbilt 2019, national champs.
Should have been Arkansas 2018, Florida in 2017. Nice run for SEC.
It certainly has been impressive. The Aggies would love to add their name to that list. 5 of Texas A&M's 9 runs tonight have come with 2 outs in the inning. Manny Salas leading things off for Texas State. He's got 1 of their 3 hits. It was a solo home run. Second batter back in the bottom of the 1st inning. 16th home run of the year for Manny Salas. He's 1 for 2 with the long ball and a strikeout. Big swing there by Salas. Todd, how about Weston Moss? He's tied a career high with 8 strikeouts. Gave up home runs in the 1st and 2nd innings. He has retired 10 in a row.
Yeah, he's been good. Struggled a little early. Manny Salas, second hitter of the game, went deep. Gave up another home run to lead off the 2nd inning, but since then he has been on fire. And Texas A&M needs that in the worst way. Aiden Sims, we still don't really know what's going on with him. He's their #1. He hadn't pitched in 3 weeks.
How about a new career high for Weston Moss? His 9th strikeout of the night, the 11th Bobcat hitter in a row that he has retired, and showing the emotion and in great shape from a pitch count standpoint.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that was the many strikeout swing and misses that Weston Moss has gotten, but he has been on fire with that slider. Career high 9 strikeouts, and what I love, only 1 walk. Been around the zone, and that's why we love the strikeout to walk ratio, because
this one high into the air, shallow center field. Sorrell making the catch, the 2nd out of the inning.
there is such a thing as throwing too many strikes, and so if you're around the zone a lot, you start to get hit around a little bit. But Weston Moss, not tonight. He's been around the zone and missing bats.
Kind of looking around the country, and a battle in Gainesville tonight. Miami and Florida 8-8. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home of all NCAA championships.
Florida and Miami already played this year. The series, the 3rd game got rained out. Florida beat Miami 2 in a row. That was back in late February.
I think visually it looks like it's supposed to look tonight when Miami and Florida are playing. It has rained at some point. It's rained some during the game. It looks like the humidity is about 99%. Like, you just see it on TV, you're like, it is so hot there.
Yeah.
And muggy.
Yeah. I'm from Louisiana, so I'm used to that humidity as well.
You get it. That breaking ball, fans wanted to strike it. Maybe a little bit low there for Joe Harris. Way Stewart takes a strike there, and it goes to 1-1. A walk to Brady Bowles with 2 outs in the 2nd inning. And back to the top of the order, and Rashawn Galloway flew out. 5 straight strikeouts. A ground out from Mora, a line out to start the 5th. Bowles struck out. Galloway grounded out. You've got strikeout, fly out here in the 6th inning. 12 straight retired by Weston Moss. And for those Texas A&M fans that were hoping for an Auburn-like performance from Weston Moss, you have gotten it.
75 pitches for Weston Moss. In the course of the year, he's landed that slider 53% of the time. It feels like more tonight. And it just kind of has been an invisible for him. And tough for the Bobcats to catch up to.
That time it's a belt high fastball that Stewart swings through and takes us to a full count. Weston Moss trying to notch the final out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, sporting a 7-run lead. He got a 3/4 swing for strikeout number 10. Fired up and should be.
But the performance from Weston Moss tonight, through 6, 10 strikeouts, and fired up. Let's go, kid.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
Got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on the screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the social wall.
The storybook season will continue.
You can jump on Squeeze Play right now by scanning that QR code conveniently there in the bottom left of your screen. Alabama leading South Carolina upstate 7-2 in the 7th inning. Tide trying to advance to the regional final. Gators, the Florida Gators, have got the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th in an 8-8 game with Miami. Cameron O'Bannon. It was a first pitch strike. Dripping Springs, Texas. 2-0 on the year, making his 18th appearance of the season. On the ground to short, fielded there by Vasos. And there's one down. All of O'Bannon's appearances are in relief. 20 strikeouts, 8 walks on the year for O'Bannon. Now back to the top of the order for Gavin Grahovac. He's 1 for 4, but he's been on base twice. A solo home run and a strikeout wild pitch. But really, I mean, I guess technically because it was in the dirt, it was a wild pitch. But catcher Namkin reaching down for it, kind of picked his eyes up, ended up kicking the baseball, and Grahovac reached safely. Now that one bounces about 4 feet in front of home plate.
You start telling the Gavin Grahovac story. He made 67 starts as a freshman. Set the freshman home run record here at Texas A&M with 23 home runs. Had 6 starts last year before a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder. Had him sit. And when you sit and watch for a long period of time, you start to really understand how lucky you are to play this game. And he's come back in a big way and appreciates the game more and having a big year.
It was Jackson Cotton who has moved from left field to right field. Sean Galloway has come out of the game. Blake the Healer is the new left fielder. That name sounds familiar if you've spent the entire day with us. Blake the Healer's brother played for Lamar earlier today. Grahovac draws the walk. There you see Blake the Healer, who we saw in last night's ball game for Texas State. So Bahealer will now be in the leadoff spot in the order in place of Sean Galloway. Hayden Sorrell takes ball 1. Sorrell 3 hits tonight, couple of singles and a double. He scored a run. He's ahead here 2-0. Texas A&M with a 7-run lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Talked about the great environment. There's only one thing that I have disagreed with in terms of game presentation here in College Station. They don't play take me out to the ball game for the 7th inning stretch.
They want to be original.
Deep in the heart of Texas, stars are bright. That was 4 in a row, and here they come. Back-to-back walks after the leadoff ground out. Grahovac 4-pitch walk to Caden Sorrell. And Namkin will go out to talk with O'Bannon, which, by the way, will only intensify this crowd. Alongside Todd Walker, Richard Cross, glad to be with you. College Station Regional. A&M trailed 5-0 yesterday. They came back and won it 7-5 against Lamar. Texas State a 5-4 win yesterday. These two teams playing in the 1-0 game for a chance to advance to the regional final. First pitch strike. See the lady behind home plate, she was so disappointed. She wanted to go to ball 6 right there.
There's no other fan base in the country that plays along like this fan base here at Texas A&M.
Each sport's kind of got its own traditions as well. University that is steeped in tradition. This ball out to left field, pretty well hit. The healer has it go either off his glove or over his glove. Gavin Grahovac will come around to score. Safe at second base with a double. Chris Hakopian drives in another run. Sorrell to third. Grahovac came home to score.
And they're just putting it on Texas State tonight. And a little lackadaisical there in the outfield by Baheeler, who just got in the game.
Yeah.
Thought he had it. Just carried right over his head. Chris Hakopian with his second base hit of the night. Double. Aggies extend their lead. 10-2.
And now it's Nico Partita. That one ran in on his hands, got it fouled back. A couple of hits tonight for Partita. He's been on base all 4 times. Sorrell at third, Hakopian at second. This one hit to third, coming home, and an out at home plate. That was played beautifully by Mora. No hesitation, and a strike to Namkin at home plate for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, nice reaction by Mora. And you're going to send the runner in that situation regardless, because you got a trail runner and the hitter will be safe at first base. So you don't really lose much with the chance that maybe the catcher drops it or an errant throw. And even though they know they're going to be out at the plate, you still run.
So runners at the corners for Jake Dewar. 4 runs driven in tonight for Dewar, up to 51 for the season. Florida has taken an 11-8 lead over Miami in the bottom of the 6th in Gainesville.
Florida's going to be dangerous this year. If they can make it out of that regional into a super, they would host in Gainesville, and that 1-2 punch for them, Aiden Sims and Liam Peterson.
Aiden King.
Aiden King, what did I say? Aiden Sims for Texas A&M, Aiden King. There's a bunch of Aidens in the SEC. Aiden King and Liam Peterson, those 1-2s can beat anybody in the country, and they started to find their identity at the SEC tournament. Florida had a 6-run lead on Georgia. Ended up losing that game, but they're playing really well.
Got some dudes at the back end of that rotation, or excuse me, the back end of the bullpen. Runner goes, dropped by Namkin. That was going to be a hard throw to make, having to pop up out of his stance just to make the throw. A stolen base there for Partita.
Popped up out of his stance, ball popped out of his glove. And You're right. That was going to be tough anyway, but couldn't find the handle.
Milwaukee trying to advance to a regional final. They've got a 10-6 lead over UCF in the top of the 8th inning. Milwaukee win yesterday over Auburn. Jumped out to a 10-0 lead in that ball game. Hold on, what, for a 13-7 win, I think it was. Auburn went 17-13 today against NC State. There's a swing and a miss. Dewar chased one out of the zone, and that brings the inning to an end. But another run on the board for the Aggies. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance tonight. Who else but Weston Moss? A career-high 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's been on point. Giving up the 2 home runs, but they were solo shots, and after the second home run, he went to work. Struck out the side in the 3rd, 1, 2, 3 in the 4th and the 5th, and the 6th. Weston Moss, basically 2 pitches, the fastball and the slider, but they've both been effective.
First pitch base hit for Vasos, the shortstop for Texas State, and that snaps a string of 13 in a row retired by Weston Moss. Leadoff single here in the 7th for Justin Vasos, his first hit of the game, just the 4th of the night.
Feels like you're going to get to Weston Moss at this point. You got to go early, and that's the time to do it. Justin Vasos ambushes the first pitch to left field.
Weston Moss went 6 innings against Penn back on February 21st. Did it against Oakland on March 6th. Against Oklahoma on March 14th. Since then, only one time has he gone more 6 innings or more. Went 6 1/3 on May 3rd against Auburn. That was 1 hit with 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, and no walks.
Yeah, you like the more strikeouts than innings pitched for Weston Moss. The ERA is not great. Had a couple bad outings, but
chance for 2, slow developing there, and Kellner decides to put that one in his pocket. Got a lot of SEC teams playing on this Saturday night. Oklahoma goes down to the number 2 overall seed Georgia Tech, 9-3 the final there. Ole Miss and Nebraska now in a weather delay with the Rebels leading 6-3 headed to the top of the 9th. Florida up 11-8 on Miami. Bama leading at 7-4 against South Carolina upstate. Mississippi State trying to go to the regional final up on Cincinnati in Starkville. What you know, Todd Walker, is a fantastic atmosphere at Dudy Noble.
Haven't been there yet.
It is spectacular.
I played there with the chain link fence and the barbecue going out in left center field. So we had a doubleheader there in Starkville in the early 90s, and I walked out there and they fed us in between games. Not sure that goes on anymore.
It does. Absolutely.
That hospitality?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Not everybody, especially some of the younger Mississippi State fans, are in favor of it like they once were. But yeah, still, in fact, I saw a couple of Auburn players in the final weekend of the regular season carrying a tray of chicken ribs, whatever it was. This one gets past Partita at third base. Tough hop. Throw comes into second. Texas State will have runners at the corners trying to scratch for the first time since the second inning. That was sharply hit by Chase Mora.
Yeah, 97 miles an hour at the bat, short hop and top spin, and Partita, who's really good over at third base, just can't handle it, kind of jumps up on him. That was okay as an infielder. If it went over you, just can't let it go under you. Stay low, and if it takes a bad hop, there's not a whole lot you can do. And gets by Partita.
First meeting on the mound tonight with Weston Moss. Jason Kelly, the pitching coach, going to come out and have a chat with him. He takes a couple of peeks down to the bullpen. 85 pitches for Weston Moss tonight. Through 85 against Vanderbilt. Those pitches he's thrown in a game this year back on March 14th against Oklahoma. Career high tonight with 10 strikeouts. Trying to get through this seventh inning. Runners at the corners with one down. And the 8-hole hitter Bennett Fryman at the plate. Fryman 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out to left. Pretty good game going in Hattiesburg with Little Rock leading Jacksonville State 6-4 in the seventh.
Yeah, that's Chris Curry, head coach at Little Rock. What a great job.
This ball lined and handled by Grahovac. He'll step on the bag for a double play. Weston Moss says, "Let's go, boys." Grahovac making the move from third base back over to first base with Partita back healthy.
Like a cat, Gavin Grahovac, all SC defense at first base, showing you leather and the lead.
The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only paying for what you need. We go to the top of the 8th inning. College Station Regional, Olson Field at Bluebell Park. Train rumbling by beyond the right field wall. Perfect night for baseball, and I think the Aggies would concur, leading it by 8, 10-2. Weston Moss helped out by line drive double play to end the bottom of the 7th. Season high 7 innings in the books, career high 10 strikeouts for Weston Moss. Shane Connell now, the senior from Tomball, Texas. Ben Ward knows where Tomball, Texas is. 15th appearance of the year for Connell. 16 strikeouts, 13 walks. He'll face Bear Harrison first. Strike drops in. Connell, the 6th pitcher tonight used by Texas State. Harrison trying to hold up. Unable to.
Or did he?
Said he did. Okay. It's a 1-1 to Bear Harrison. Breaking ball runs in for strike 2, 1-2 now. This one misses off the plate, trying to get him to chase on the breaking ball. 2-2.
Good angle right there off the plate.
Full count pitch. This one's in the dirt, and Bear Harrison draws a leadoff walk. WWE's Clash in Italy hits tomorrow afternoon at 2 Eastern. Catch the first hour live on ESPN and stream the entire event on the ESPN app with an ESPN Unlimited plan. Weston Moss looking like he could climb into the ring.
Definitely has the energy to do it tonight. And the alien, kind of
looking a little deflated.
bowing his head a little bit, yeah. A little somber.
Ben Royo had an RBI single in his last at bat. Everybody in the Aggies batting order tonight with at least 1 hit. I know my buddy Haydad will be locked in on WWE Clash in Italy. I guess you have to adjust for the time change. That's why you go 2 in the afternoon. Seems like more of a nighttime event, which I guess it will be in Italy. You got nothing there. You're just leaving me hanging on there.
Well, I'm locked in on Shane Connell, and this is kind of been his issue. Only 11 innings on the year, but he's got more walks than innings pitched, and he's having a hard time finding the zone. No, I'm not. I like the entrances for WWE. I don't necessarily like to watch the whatever you would call it inside the ring fight, but I do like the entrances. The entrances, the drama.
Here they go again. I don't think everybody was paying attention. It took them a moment to kind of get into unison. Back-to-back walks to Harrison and Royo to start the inning, and that is the last thing you want when you're trailing by 8 in the 8th.
Well, they knew what they were getting into. Again, for Shane Connell during this year, it's just been tough and hard hard time for him to find the zone.
There you go. Now she gets to be excited. See the lady right above the ST behind home plate in College Station.
She's all in, huh?
2 hands.
Oh, she's dancing too.
Swaying.
Just
the
gives
volume
them more energy.
increases.
Gives them more energy. There she is. She ain't stopping either. She's giving him a little bit of the wave.
You think she's going to get a text? I wish I knew her name. We identify her. Want to guess on her name?
No. But she's into it, as is everybody else, and they're running right through this mound meeting. They're still going.
Perhaps a pitching change here, and I am intrigued to see, does this last through the entirety of a new pitcher if you do make a pitching change?
I think so. I'm not saying Connell's name. They're just saying how many balls have been thrown in a row.
There you go. Signal to the bullpen, so a pitching change. We're going to see just how Hardy. They may take a timeout on the ball 7 chance. She is. She'll be ready to go when this new pitcher comes back in. Kathleen just got a text and found out that she's on television. They're excited.
Yeah, that energy just took another uptick here when they start this one back up. 7 balls in a row. Is that where we're at?
6 in a row.
6 in a row.
And they will get the chant going once again with ball 7. As Terrence Keel will step back into the box. Are you contractually obligated as an A&M player if 4 in a row have missed, you have to take the first pitch? Tyler Walton into the game, 5th appearance of the year. And there's a strike. Count goes to 2-1.
Good job by Tyler Walton. Pumping first pitch in there. Might actually be the opposite. You know he's going to try to throw strike 1. You get after it.
7th pitcher of the game used. Keel bunts this one first base line. It's picked up by Stewart. He is able to tag out Keel for the first out of the inning. Sacrifice, though, for Terrence Keel as he gets Harrison to third and Royo to second.
The more I watch Shaquai Stewart play first base, the more I like him. Has both hands on that ball, and that's the correct way to do it in case you run into the runner and it knocks the ball out. He's picked a few over there at first. He can move around the bag. And And that was a nice play there on the speedy Terrence Keel.
Austin Kellner. He's got a double tonight. He rips this one through the drawn-in infield on the left side. Bear Harrison comes home to score. Royo goes to third. It's an RBI single for Kellner, his 30th driven in of the year, and it's now 11-2 Aggies.
Everybody in the lineup has scored a run except Ben Royo, who's still out there on the bases, and this has been an offensive onslaught from Texas A&M. Nice swing of the bat by the freshman Boston Kellner. Ball's on the inside corner. You got to pull those hands in first to find the barrel, and then get the barrel out in front enough to pull it in the hole. Boston Kellner does both, and it's 11-2.
Top of the order, Gavin Grahovac. Sixth time he's been to the plate tonight. Goes after a fastball that was up and in. Couldn't lay off that one. Not a whole lot you can do with that pitch. Aggies in front by 9 over Texas State. San Marcos, one of 5 teams from the Sun Belt, included in the field of 64 this year. Texas State winning 5-4 last night. Late dramatic finish with Chase Mora hitting a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th. This one gets away and hits Gavin Grahovac. He'll go to first, and now the bases are loaded for Caden Sorrell. Southern Miss was the number 9 overall seed in the tournament. They went 0-2 though in the Hattiesburg Regional. Coastal Carolina stays alive, so does Louisiana. Texas State playing here. If nothing changes, they'll play in an elimination game tomorrow against USC. And Troy Trojans still alive. It's a good year for the Sun Belt. Big swing and a miss there from Caden Sorrell.
Caden Sorrell started out this game 3 hits in a row, the double back in the 5th, and struck out. The walk last at bat.
On base 4 times tonight.
4 times on base for Caden Sorrell, and we talked about the big 3 in this lineup. First 3 hitters with Grahovac, Sorrell, and Hakopian.
How about combined, Todd? Those 3 have been on base 11 times.
And last night, they were 4 for 8 with 2 home runs, 5 runs, and 4 RBIs.
This ball ripped down into the right field corner. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Royo scores. Kellner scores. Grahovac stops at third. It is a 2-run double, and it's now 13-2 Texas A&M.
Two doubles, 2 singles, on base 5 times. Caden Sorrell off the wall at 107 miles an hour. And the Aggies pouring it on here in the 8th. And the bubbles are still flying.
You never know exactly what the future is going to look like. When you think about the fact that Southern Cal and Texas State, assuming you don't have a miraculous rally from Texas State with their final 6 outs, are going to play an elimination game. And what those pitching staffs may look like when you get to that regional final tomorrow night. Texas A&M likely going to sleep really well, looking for the opportunity to get back to the ballpark tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel good about yourself if they hold on here, which it looks like they would.
Copian fouls it wide of the bag at third.
Undefeated as a regional host here the last 4 times they've done that. And They're hard to beat here in College Station. They win tonight. That moved to 29-6 at home.
This ball ripped out to left. The Healer has it off of his glove. Two more going to come around to score. Safe at second base is Chris Hacopian. That ball was tattooed 102 miles an hour off the bat. And remember, you had the change in left field where Sean Galloway, seemingly hurt, had to come out of the game. They moved Jackson Cotton from left to right, and the Healers come in. And
yeah, that's the second time tonight. He just looks like he doesn't pick up the baseball. Just doesn't see it.
He hadn't been deep enough either time.
Yeah, he's been playing shallow, and you don't really have a feel for the game when you come in like he has. And it's tough out there in left tonight for Beheeler.
Chris Hacopian stands out at second base. Hovac and Sorrell both came around to score. We're going to take a timeout with the pitching change. Texas A&M pouring it on, leading 15-2. Just a party tonight at Bluebell. Texas A&M pouring it on in the 1-0 game against the Texas State Bobcats. We have seen some runs cross the plate earlier today in an elimination game. Southern Cal with a 19-6 win over Lamar. Texas A&M has put 15 on the board in this game. And remember, it was a 2-0 lead for Texas State. Southern Cal going to play Texas State in the elimination game tomorrow. Those guys are having fun. I think they're coming back to the ballpark tomorrow night.
Everything's good.
This College Station Regional paired with the Chapel Hill Regional. Colby Diaz now coming into the game, the senior from Leander, Texas. 6th appearance of the year.
Only 3 innings, 3 1/3. Does have a big arm, 95 on the fastball.
He's going to face Nico Partita. By the way, Chris Hacopian credited with a 2-run double there. From a technical scoring standpoint, the ball never touched the glove of Beheeler, and so no error charged on that, though I think everybody in the ballpark would say that's one he's got to catch. Nico Partita has been on base all 5 times tonight. A couple of singles, a pair of fielder's choices, and hit by a pitch. Got a pinch runner in the game. That is Sawyer Farr out at second base. Pinch running for Hacopian. Big night for Chris Hacopian. 4 runs driven in, scored a run as well. Partita ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. We were going to show you on TV, Chris, but then you can, there you go. Lean forward for us, thank you. Having him back at least mostly healthy and able to occupy that DH spot, big for this Aggies team, and there's another walk. You look up and you see 15 runs on the board. There's no doubt A&M has swung it well tonight, but they have also been helped out. They do have 17 hits. 6 doubles, 2 home runs, hit by pitch 3 times, and 5 walks.
Yeah, Chris Hacopian right there, transfer from Maryland. Kylie McDaniel has him as the highest rated prospect of the 3. Gavin Grahovac, Caden Sorrell. And 375 at Maryland last year, comes over a little over 300 this year. So the average has suffered a little bit coming into the SEC, but I really like Chris Hacopian's bat to ball skills.
There you go.
There it is. Chris Hacopian.
Rated as the 19th prospect, 19th ranked prospect, according to Kylie McDaniel.
Only strikes out 12% of his plate appearances. Start talking about quality at bats for all 3, but Chris Hacopian at 58%, which is hard hit outs, all the times you reach base, and then plate appearances, 6+ pitches. Chase percentage low for Hacopian at 15% of swings, and so can't go wrong with any one of those 3.
Wild pitch allowed the runners to move up. All right, let's put you in the front office of a big league team. So you've got a late 1st round pick, mid 1st round pick, and all 3 of these guys are on the board. Chris Hacopian, Gavin Grahovac, Caden Sorrell. I know there's a lot that goes into who you pick and why, but you're just picking best available. Where are you going? This one, hold your thought on that. Splits the outfielders and goes all the way to the wall. 2 more come around to score. Sawyer Farr touches the plate. So does Partita. Jake Dewar with a 2-run double. It's now 17-2.
This is just a fireworks show. We saw it earlier with USC scoring 19 runs and A&M following suit. Another base hit for the Aggies. 7 runs in this inning already, 17 on the board. And they have batted around here in the 8th inning.
Texas A&M did not score in the first 2 innings. They got 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 5 here in the 8th. Most runs that they've scored in a regional game in the last 8 years. The inning started with a walk to Bear Harrison. He came around to score. Still just 1 out in the inning, and the only out was a sacrifice bunt from Terrence Keel. He came to the plate with runners on 1st and 2nd. Bunted Harrison and Royo, 3rd and 2nd respectively. Harrison takes a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Up and in.
To answer your question, the quickest answer I'd give you is I'm going Caden Sorrell, center fielder. Big kid, 6'3", 210, pedigree.
Okay.
Dad was drafted. Both granddads played the big leagues. All SEC defender in center field, plus arm, can run. And hits left-handers as good as right-handers. Now, there is a lot of swing and miss in Sorrell. He strikes out 25% of his plate appearances. Chase numbers are high at near 30%, but when he gets a hold of it, he can hit it hard and a long way, and with all the tools that go along with it, They're all three great players, Drahovac, Sorrell, and Hakopian, but I'm taking the center fielder.
Can really run, too. 2 down in the inning as Harrison goes down on strikes, and Ben Royo will come to the plate. Royo scored a run. Officially 1 for 4 with an RBI. After a safety early to give Texas State a 2-0 lead, the Aggies offense has gotten going. A couple of touchdowns, kicked a field goal, 17-2. 14 different teams today in regional play have put double-digit runs on the board. 3 of those teams are playing right now. Florida's hung 11 on Miami. Mississippi State's put 10 up on Cincinnati. Aggies with 17 runs and counting against Texas State. We saw it earlier today with Southern Cal as well.
Yeah, well, when teams get behind in these games in a regional, when they start looking ahead in games that they have to win, now they start throwing guys that don't have a lot of innings, and these games can get out of hand quickly.
You're reminded why some of the guys don't have a lot of innings throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
I said 11. It's 15 now for Florida, leading 15-9 over Miami.
We've seen 44 total runs scored in this ballpark today. So if you like offense, this is the place to be.
Regionals across the country have seen, to this point, 215 home runs. Between Atlanta and Athens, 45 home runs at those 2 sites. Now, you got the 2 best offenses in all of college baseball at those 2 sites as well. 25 home runs in Atlanta at Russ Chandler, and 21 so far in Athens at Foley Field. Terrence Keel with the sacrifice earlier this inning. That was the first out of the inning. He's got Dewar at second and Royo at first. Alabama finished off USC Upstate with a 7-5 victory, so the Crimson Tide moved to the regional final. Oregon, a winner over Washington State. They are headed to a regional final in Eugene. Georgia Tech doing the same thing in Atlanta.
RC, how many home ballparks in the country do you think in a 17-2 game in the 8th that nobody would have left?
Not
pretty
many,
impressive.
Fred.
Pretty impressive. At 11 p.m. at night. They love baseball here in College Station. Well, they love each other and just don't want to leave.
Keel chases one in the dirt. He'll go down on strikes for the final out of the inning. But another big inning for Texas A&M. In fact, their biggest of the night. 7 runs on the board at the top of the 8th. It's 17-2. What a difference 30 hours can make. Yesterday it was nervousness, anxiousness. Tonight, Bluebell has just been a party. A bubble party. Chestnut comes into the game and goes to left for Texas A&M. Travis Chestnut played in yesterday's ball game, came in as a pinch runner. Zane Becker is the new catcher. Bear Harrison will get the rest of the night off. Nine-hole hitter Brady Bowles to lead things off for Texas State here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Weston Moss, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a pair of solo home runs in the first and the second. And you may remember, if you've been with us throughout the night, ask Michael Early, hey, what do you think of Weston Moss so far? He's given up a couple of solo home runs, and he was quick to say, no, we're pleased with what he's doing. He's got good stuff. Don't mind the solo home runs as long as there aren't too many of them. And it's been really, really good tonight for Weston Moss. 7 innings of work. He is one recorded out away here in the 8th from the longest outing of the year in a starting effort for a pitcher from Texas A&M.
Well, he showed up, and he's shown the ability to do that throughout the year. We've pointed out a few starts that he's made, and none bigger than this one tonight. Really impressive for Weston Moss.
Chopper back to the mound. Moss says, I got it. 1 down in the 8th.
And you look at all the stats and everything that Weston Moss has done tonight, but the most impressive thing is the length. Holding on to pitching in the bullpen for the Texas A&M pitching staff.
And now with the longest outing of the year, Michael Early going to make the stroll out to the mound and listen to the ovation that Weston Moss is about to get. Handshake from his head coach. Subtle tip of the cap as he heads to the dugout. An outstanding performance tonight from Weston Moss. Aggies leading it 17-2 with 1 down in the bottom of the 8th. Career high 10 strikeouts, career high 7 1/3 tonight from Weston Moss.
Faced 27 hitters, 10 strikeouts, only the 1 walk. Pitched Texas A&M into the 8th inning on point with the fastball and the slider. Sharp break, Weston Moss with the energy. And that's what Texas A&M needed. What a great night.
Pretty good crowd pop there from Weston Moss as he makes his way to the dugout. A lot of smiles in that Aggies dugout tonight as Cole Hubert now comes into the game for Texas A&M. Looking to try and finish this one off against Texas State. 1 out. Cole Hubert, the freshman from Hellertown, Pennsylvania. Left-hander making his 14th appearance of the year as Blake Beheeler comes to the plate. And he takes strike one. I think there's a connection for Cole Hubert. Pennsylvania a long way from College Station. This one out to right field, and an easy grab there for Keel. Played it perfectly. 2 down in the inning.
That would be my guess. The Healer gives that a drive out to right field, 2nd out. And we're going to see pinch hitter.
Tanner Carson going to get a chance to swing the bat here in place of Manny Salas, the DH spot, number 2 hole in the order. Salas had the home run back in the 1st inning, finishes his night 1 for 3. There's a strike from Hubert. Hubert played in high school at Saucon Valley High. He was pitcher of the year. 2-time first team all-state selection. 27-5 in his high school career. This one hit sharply past Partita at 3rd. That's a single for Tucker Carson. He hit that one well.
Yeah, 104 off the bat, right by Partita. We've seen some hot shots hit at 3rd base in all these games. There's a different position over there. This Texas A&M pitching staff has been a little unusual. Weston Moss having a career night, but they're 11th in the SEC within the 30 games, or in A&M's case, the 29-game SEC schedule. They're 11th in ERA, 13th in strikeouts, but they're 8th nationally in strikeout to walk ratio.
Another pinch hitter here for Texas State. Austin Munguia getting a chance to hit here in the 8th inning. In place of Clayton Namkin. Namkin 0 for 3. One to Munguia. Hits it in the air, out into center field. Hovek, or rather Sorrell, makes the catch in the warning track, and that ends the inning. A hit, but no more for the Bobcats in the 8th. 17 runs, 18 hits, no defensive miscues tonight for Texas A&M. 15-run lead as Alex Yearwood, the right-handed freshman, steps onto the mound and makes his 12th appearance of the year.
Tenth pitcher for Texas State, Alex Yearwood, making his 12th. High ERA. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, only 7 in 13 innings.
Diaz went 2/3 of an inning. Well, you got to rewind a long time in this ball game, but the start that Texas State got from Jesus Tovar was really pretty good. Did not give up a run in the first 2 innings, gave up a solo home run in the 3rd, and gave up a couple of runs in the 4th. He went 4 1/3. Cal Poly with a win tonight. So Cal Poly is headed to a regional final, and so is Little Rock. How about that?
Well, you see mid-majors come and go, and that's why I'm impressed with Little Rock. They had a real shot to beat LSU last year in that regional. They took it all the way to Monday, game 7, and got beat. Jason Evans struck out 11 in that game, and LSU goes on and wins the national championship. But that shows you the kind of team Chris Curry has put together at Little Rock.
This one up and out of the zone to Kellner. New first baseman is DeFury into the game. Coy DeFury at first base, and out in center field, Samson Pugh. He came into last night's game and played right field. Base hit through the left side. Boston Kellner now with a 3-hit game.
Talk about the game last night where the top 3 hitters in this order went 4 for 8. The other 6 went 1 for 20. Bottom 6 of this order, but they picked it up tonight.
It has been a hit parade for the Aggies. Pinch hitter here, Blake Bender up. Bender up's had a nice year. He's played now 31 games, made 22 starts, hitting .310 with 9 home runs. Batting in place of Gavin Grahovac here in the top of the 9th inning. There's one thing I don't understand about regional play. Maybe you can help me out on this. If you have a season that's good enough to earn a host spot, to earn a #1 seed, shouldn't that carry the weight if you're the home team throughout your event? This ball in the air out into center field, and Pugh is able to track it down and make the catch. First out of the inning.
Yeah, I get your point. And clearly, if Texas A&M were to win tonight, they would be the home team tomorrow night.
Sure.
But you're saying all the way through.
If you're the 1 seed, as long as you win, if you're playing, it feels like you've earned the right to be the home team. If you're the 2 playing the 3, the 2 should be the home team.
I agree all the way through, and you know that's the NCAA trying to make it a little more fair in these regionals. But I hear your point, and I agree.
That's what the regular season was for. Go win enough games to earn that spot.
Yeah, it's not like you play series where 2 at home, 1 on the road, or you play 3 in College Station, but 1 game you're the visiting team, you know, where you hit first.
I mean, what if Greg Sankey came out and said, hey, we know it's a road series, but you're going to get to be the home game in one of those 3 games.
Those 3, yeah. Yeah, it would be the same thing. And it didn't matter tonight.
No. No balls and 2 strikes. Gia catching after pinch hitting for Namkin. Sam Erickson at the plate, the sophomore from Flower Mound. He goes down on strikes, second out of the inning. It is just the second at bat of the year for Sam Erickson. Sawyer Farr came into the game earlier as a pinch runner, and now he will swing the bat in the place of Chris Sakopian.
Has appeared now 19 games, only has 11 starts, no home runs, 2 doubles, hit .231.
9 hits on the year and 39 at bats coming in. Farr, the sophomore from Fort Worth. TCU, one of the teams that was disappointed on Monday when the field of 64 was announced. Just on the outside looking in for this year's tournament. 2-0. This ball hammered to right field by Sawyer Farr. Kellner hits the bag at second, goes to third. That is another double for Texas A&M.
Hammered to right field by Sawyer, turning around on that fastball. And you're right. There's been a lot of doubles in this game. I mean, is that 8?
That's 8. To go along with 2 home runs, 10 extra base hits tonight for Texas A&M. Sawyer Farr, big smile on his face. Wesley Jordan now with a chance to swing the bat.
Yeah.
He is hitting for Partita. 17 runs on 20 hits. Also 7 walks and 3 hit by pitch. Yeah.
Well, if you start looking,
a lot of traffic on the bases.
If you start looking within the SEC schedule of the 30 games, as big of a year as Georgia has had, and they lead the conference in a lot of offensive categories. The best run producing team is this Texas A&M squad. More runs within the conference schedule than Georgia, more RBIs.
A&M has now scored 501 runs this season.
Feels like they've scored 500 a night.
That's an average of 9.1 runs per game. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wesley Jordan. Jordan on the ground to short. Pasos over to first, and that ends the inning. Texas State will get one more chance to swing the bats as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Aggies, an offensive onslaught. Students here at A&M just decided they needed to saw them off one more time before the end of the ball game. I think they'll do that again once the game is officially over, but felt like singing. A lot to sing about tonight. 17 runs and 20 hits. Jarrion Wilson now in the game in right for Texas A&M. Started out there last night. Sam Erickson is the new left fielder for the Aggies. They got defensive changes all over the place. Blake Bender up now at first base in place of Grahovac. Royo's out of the game, and Chestnut has gone to second. Pinch hitter here as well, is that right? Brady Bowles. Oh, I beg your pardon. This ball out into right field, and Wilson's going to have to run that one down. One hopper off the wall. Wilson will send it back in. That's a leadoff double. Double off the bat there of Coy DeFury.
Lefty-lefty matchup. 111 off the bat. Off that short wall, and got up in the zone. Got the hands up, barrel through, and ripped that ball. Well, these guys are making it look easy. Sit for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, come in here and get a knock. Pretty impressive.
Justin Vassos, shortstop, 1 for 3 tonight, had a single back in the 7th inning. Ball and a strike. So Texas A&M will play tomorrow night against the winner of Southern Cal, who won earlier today, and Texas State. That's a rematch of their game yesterday, a game that Southern Cal led going into the top of the 9th inning, had a 1-run lead. Chase Mora's 2-run home run in the top of the 9th changed that. Texas State was able to hang on in the bottom of the 9th inning for a 5-4 win. So it will be round 2 between the Trojans and the Bobcats tomorrow afternoon. This one popped out into center field. Long run, and Keel will make the catch. First out of the inning here in the bottom of the 9th. So squeeze play has shut it down for the night, but we got to go just a little while longer.
2 more outs.
I knew Rooney was a lightweight. I mean. Certainly not going to question a decision by a coach, but going to get another arm into the ball game. Hunter Vincent going to get his turn. 2 outs remaining here at College Station. Bottom of the ninth, 1 out, runner on second for Texas State. A pitching change for the Aggies. Just an opportunity to get Hunter Vincent into the ball game. The freshman left-hander from Prosper, Texas. Only 8 1/3 pitched all year. Gets a chance tonight.
9th appearance for Hunter Vincent. Averaging 2 strikeouts an inning. That's like the nation's strikeout leader we saw earlier today, Mason Edwards. Mason's got a little more innings pitched than Hunter Vincent, but swing and misses there.
Jackson Cotton at the plate. He takes strike 1. Cotton with a home run back in the second inning. It was his 13th of the year. Hits this one hard on the ground. Ender up grabs it, but in foul ground and tosses it up for a souvenir to one of the kids on the burn. Well, to an adult, but then it ends up in the hands of a kid. So he's got a great hat and a baseball.
Yeah, he's fired up. Look at that.
Who's got it better than that guy? Young fellow with...
Brought his glove, too.
How much of that are mom and dad going to have to carry to the car after the game?
We were at the SEC tournament last week, and it had rained, and they have a hill where these kids were sliding down this hill, and there were a ton of them that just were covered in mud. And so I think his parents would be more than excited just to bring a hat into the car, because these kids, I don't know how they got them home.
Strikeout there from Hunter Vincent. 2 down here in the ninth as Jackson Cotton goes down swinging. Chase Mora, hero one night ago, 1 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, ground out, and a single. This one gets away, and Fury will scoot over to third base on the wild pitch. The 1-0. Don't know at this point who Texas A&M is going to throw tomorrow night in the regional final. There's been a question mark surrounding Aiden Sims all weekend. We talked with Michael early about that on Thursday, and he said, I don't know. We're taking it a day at a time. Aiden Sims has probably had the biggest workload that he has ever had, not just here at A&M, but kind of in his baseball career. Dealt with some soreness. He has been throwing daily, but apparently to this point they've not felt comfortable with running him out in the role that he's become accustomed to. There's a swing and a miss. Chase Mora goes down on strikes, and that brings this one to an end. Stars at night, big and bright here in College Station, Texas. 17-2 the final. 20 hits for the Aggies. To use your note from earlier, past 3 regionals plus this one, they have won 11 straight games here at Blue Bell Park in the postseason.
Pretty good run for the Aggies, and sets up a rematch tomorrow between Texas State and USC. USC had held the lead into the ninth. Texas State with a 2-run homer that put USC in the bottom half of the bracket, and there you go.
That's what we'll see tomorrow. The Bobcats and the Trojans at 4 Eastern, 3 o'clock local time. Texas A&M will be waiting in the wings, trying to punch their ticket to a super regional. Long day of baseball here in College Station, but we appreciate you being with us. For our producer, Ben Ward, our director, Mike Dressman, my partner, Todd Walker, I'm Richard Cross. Thanks for being with us. Aggies roll on this Saturday night in College Station. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.